Yo, Harlem, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're live.
All right, let's go.
Turn the shit down, and then we'll get going. How you been, dude? Doing good?
Been chilling, having a great time, enjoying the new year. And it was a little bit chaotic, but it's part of the ritual.
Did you do anything fun for the new year? Anything like that?
Ah, oh, pretty funny story actually. So this year, me and my friends were supposed to all hang out at the end of the year, but one of them just, had some stomach problems, so bad that he's actually in the hospital right now, getting taken care of. Something he ate
This
didn't
is a
really.
this is a Brazilian friend, or is this somebody I
Yeah,
know? Oh, okay.
yeah,
I was like, shit.
yeah. He
Wait,
had a
this
problem, shitting his fucking intestine out
that's terrible.
almost. So we had to cancel. So we basically gonna do that some other time when most of my friends are alright with it.
We
But
were we were
I
gonna hang
was.
out yesterday, and then I couldn't
Mm,
make it. I have a small child, so we did New Year's for him at like 7, and then I'm having another. Wait, I'm having a kid. We're having a kid tomorrow, so
mm,
I was just like, fuck it, and I went to sleep, man. I'm probably gonna go to bed pretty early tonight. We can stream and then do a little Street Fighter. You have a game for platinum picked out.
yeah.
I have Neon Seed pulled up because I figured what we could do is look at some Neon Seed and kind of just talk about where that's at, and uh touch on that for a minute, and then we'll just see what happens. We'll see what we'll see what goes from there. So you want to do platinum?
Yeah, that's a plan. Yeah.
All right, let's do the switch the set.
You've played the games, you finished them, you watched the credits roll, but did you get the platinum? 100 platinum trophies, 100 games, one player. The Heka Collective presents Platinum, Soul on Display.
All right, I think this is the I think this is the correct set. I made this one in a rush, but we're covering Gris, and you've talked to me about Gris before, but I'm going in blind here as usual, so I'm gonna kind of stumble through, and you're gonna be the master. Tell us a little bit about this game. Tell us give me a year, platform, and genre if you could.
I'm not sure about the year. I think this game was released like 1 or 2 years ago. Could be wrong, but this is one of the games that are kind of inspired by Journey. Silent game, kind of a journey to discover yourself and discover what's going on in the story. And this game has like beautiful shooty animation, which is why I decided to play it in the first time. Like, and I had a super great time about this game. And I cannot talk much about the story because I want everybody to play this. This is one of the games that I 100% recommend to people who enjoy like good level design, good story, all of that stuff. But this game does something special that I found. And I never seen another game do this, at least not as well as this one, which is the trophies for the game. They give you hints towards what's happening in the story. So at first you get like trophies like the worlds, like every single world has a color in the name. So red world, green world, and in between the stages you have trophies or special actions you can do that are hidden, and you can get like the anger trophy or something for doing something like that. So you can basically try to put together what you are experiencing in the game with the trophies. And if you collect all of the memories, which are hidden collectibles for this game, you can basically like have one of the big pieces of the story explained to you. But it's like a 10-second cutscene. Just shows you so much more with not a single dialogue that you immediately get it. Like what they're trying to convey and what story they're trying to tell. Which to me this was amazing. This is probably my favorite game that I played last year. Like it's
Um,
Gris because it's just so well made. Like the controls are well made, the jumping is well made. Like the puzzles that they do, they're not hard. What they require some thinking. So I really love this one.
I will say it is a pretty beautiful looking game. Just looking at the trailer on loop in the back of the set that we have here. And I will also say the Devolver published it, so that's always a good sign for me. I'm a big fan of the stuff that they put. They publish a lot of really interesting offbeat stuff that sometimes is hit or miss, but it's games. These are video games. These are, even if they're like this, where I take it this is mainly puzzles and environmental stuff, and not a whole lot of combat.
There's no combat. It's just
Yeah.
jumping and
Yeah,
doing all
then
this. But that's a really good sign because I'm usually bored by games
that's
like
what I was
this.
gonna say. Is you are typically a action game player, and for you to praise a game like this in such a way would have to be pretty damn good.
Yeah,
So anyone can play this and enjoy it. Can anybody plat this? What's the difficulty of the platinum?
yeah. Everybody can plat this. There's no challenge at all. I feel there is one section that you have to time your dashes right, but it's so easy that I think everybody can platinum this game because it sits right now in PSN. At least it sits at a 12% platinum rate, so it's pretty accessible. You're not gonna run into any challenging parts or anything. And I was looking at some interviews that the game designers for this game. There's not a single fail state in this game, and it's true. You cannot really die in this game, but you can fail and you can try again, which is I think that's so challenging for you to design a game that's entertaining in the way that you can basically try again, and not get penalized for failing. So it's very impressive game design, very impressive artistry. So godlike game. You just need to grab all of the collectibles the first time you play. That's my advice for people who wanna plot this game. Just do the collectibles first, then do the secret actions later, and then you unlock the secret ending, which might be the best thing you can do. Like the secret ending, you must unlock the secret ending. I feel for this game, it's like part of the experience. You should not just finish this game and go for something else. Just do it as I say. You're gonna thank me later.
All right. So it's a single player experience. I'm assuming it's on everything. It's probably, or is it an exclusive?
It's on phones. I think it's on phones. It's on PlayStation and
Oh,
the
okay,
Xbox.
so it's
I think
on
it's
fucking everything.
yeah.
So it's basically just one of those ones where it was made in the last couple of years. You may have missed it. If you did miss it and you like these sorts of games like Journey, where it's not quite a walking simulator, but it's also not super difficult. Maybe you need a break. If you're like Harlem, you play a lot of action games and you need to change the pace. Gris seems like a pretty solid option with like some pedigree behind it. This one we're seeing is a PS4, I guess, on loop, but I assume it looks just as good on pretty much everything given what it is. It's
One
not.
thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing. If you play this game and you have like the PS5 or the PC version, try to play on the PS5 version because it uses the DualSense in some very cool ways. I guess that's my recommendation
That's
too.
cool.
If you
I
can
always
choose
appreciate that
ports.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it has like haptics, has like a lot of small stuff details that they put a lot of time into. I feel making it a little bit more special because of the DualSense.
Any final thoughts?
My game of the year for last year.
Okay,
At least
nice.
was played. It's
Let me
Gris.
let me look up real quick when Gris came out. So we can have that in the bag. So it's a Spanish developer, Nomada Studio, published by Devolver Digital. The game was released for Mac OS, Nintendo Switch, and Windows in December 2018, for iOS in August 2019, and for PlayStation 4 in November, and then Android in April, and then Amazon Luna. Okay, so it's on everything. It's on
Yeah, it's
absolutely everything. So it
Mhm.
originally came out in 2018, but you may not have seen it on a platform you care about until as recently as 2020.
I always had it. Yeah, I always had it in the back of my mind that I needed to play this. And I finally did it. I'm glad I did because 10 out of 10, in my opinion.
So of the games you played last year, you put this one at the tippy top, which is very cool. All right, great recommendation, man. Good platinum. Let's head back to the main stage. Yeah, man. I love that. It's a good little segment. It's always fun I always learn something. I don't platinum games. That shit came after. You know, I did not grow up in the trophy era.
And Trophy Hero was crazy. the,
I mean,
the beginning of
I was just thinking the other day about how funny it was that the tagline for Halo 2 was "Finish the fight," and then like here we are, where like aren't they making a new Halo?
they always are.
Yeah, of course. You know, like sometimes you'll ask me to play Halo, and I'm like, oh man, don't spoil it. I thought we finished the fight. I, I haven't really
Yeah,
like.
yeah, but 343 happened, bro. The fight never
I was
ended.
gonna say I played. I think I played up to whenever ODST was, or 3 or something. I want to say I played Reach, but I know I didn't sit down and play the whole campaign of Reach. I probably either watched somebody play it.
I have some. I've been playing for, I think, a few months back when I had my PC and I got this new one. I was playing with Halo Reach again because I'm a Reach kid. I played a lot of Reach multiplayer with my friends, but I've been playing the story again of Reach, and I still love the story. But man, some of the sections of that game didn't age as well as I had hoped to, especially the chase scenes and scenes you have vehicles. Man, it's kind of like disappointing nowadays to play that stuff. Even though like it's still great, it's still among one of the great FPS shooters of all time. It's you know,
It's fair.
it is as I had remembered in my head.
Yeah.
Some of the experiences I had.
Sometimes it's better to leave things in the past, man. And be honest with you.
Yeah, true. Yeah, from my
All right, let's talk about independent comics real quick. We're stuck in independent comics. I know you're working on the game dev stuff. Hey, what's up? We're live,
What's
by the
up,
way,
guys?
just so you're aware.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just so you know, you have that tip off before you walk in here.
You want me to not?
No, you're good. I always like to tell everybody before they come in.
Yeah,
We're
we
just
always
hanging.
tell.
We're recording.
Some people need a warning. Not everybody needs a warning, you know. Some people are play it a little bit more fast and loose and don't exactly.
I need one, otherwise I'm gonna spoil my next project to people. So I always need one.
Yeah. Well, anyway, all I was saying was that we're stuck in indie comics because we're making a comic independently. And it's a weird, dude. It's a weird situation to be in because there's so many inflamed passions all the time. And I can see. Let me see if I can pull up Neon Seed if I have this set up. This thing and then this thing. Yeah. So, God, we've been working on this comic for a long time. Like, I've always been pretty upfront with how, like, we kind of knew how to do certain things, and then from the jump, we were like, there's just other things we have no idea how to do, or we don't care to do them. And, you know, it's just taken a while to get over the hump of this first part of this comic. But now we're kind of there. I'll show off some of it. I don't think some of this has ever been shown anywhere. I'll show some inks. But like now that we're here, it's super weird, and I would like to take like 5 minutes to talk about it because we just wanted to tell a story. Like Harlem, you had a freaky idea. You had like an idea of 2 characters, and then you tasked me with kind of fleshing out something, and we tasked everybody else with kind of fleshing out a world. And we just like have a story. We have a story with interesting things going on and a lot of like depth to it. And there's not a lot of room for that in independent comics a lot of the time. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So we've had our fair share of like bumps along the way. I'm gonna take this all the way through to like sick fight or something. There we go. Yeah, we'll stop right there and leave it right there. But I love this story. Like, I don't know about you, Harlem. I know you're a little bit more hands-off with Neon Seed. You're a little bit more on the, like, producer end of that. You don't step in too much on the, like, day-to-day of Kitano doing art or anybody doing other stuff. But, like, I love this story. I love these characters. And it's not just because we've spent so much time with them. I actually genuinely think we came up with something pretty interesting here. But, man, I sometimes can't believe how shitty it is out there if you want to just tell somebody you made a comic. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, what do you think, Harlem? Do you like this story, or are you sort of like tapped out on your own tail here and you're ready to just sort of get a product out there, or are you like willing to brave these choppy waters?
For Neon Seed, I'm the type of guy who is like there was the beginning part of making Neon Seed, which was crazy because I was like all day with Kitano and I was almost fighting Kitano. I was like, no, do like this, do like that. You probably remember that, like when I was like very hands-on at the beginning.
Yeah, it had to be to concept stuff out, but yeah, I remember.
I was like very hands-on, and then I was explaining stuff and how the universe worked for you, and I was like, you flesh out this, you add a little flavor to that, and type of stuff. Because I'm not a writer, I'm not gonna pretend here to be a writer. I'm not. I just do like the overarching main theme of the story and how it ends and it begins. But I don't write. I'm not a writer. But I was very hands-on at the beginning. But then the team just took Neon Seed, and I had nothing to say because Kitano, after that very, kind of hard-working start we had, he immediately got it. And he was like, okay, Kitano got the story right. And then you were just like making so many writings, and I was like reading out the writings, and I was like, okay, this is good. And it came to a point I was like, okay, I don't feel like I'm needed here anymore. Because, I would just like take a look at every single page and okay every single page because that's my job, creative director, creator of this thing. But, it just went so well that I was like, okay, I might as well start working on the next thing. And that's what I've been doing for all this time. Working sometimes way too hard and thinking way too hard about how to make this next project a reality. I guess that's it. My end.
I'll pick that up in a second. What's up, Coleslaw? And also we're live, just so you have the heads up.
Okay. Not too much. Just been hanging out.
Cool. Just talking about Neon Seed real quick.
Okay.
How's the did you want to talk about how the tones and the shading and stuff is going? People have seen you drawing. You don't really need to say much. I was just saying
maybe in a bit.
Yeah. Are you almost off work? You calling from work?
No, I didn't have to work today. I'm just relaxing right now. I'm just trying to. Sorry, I'm kind of walking around the house right now trying to find a couple of things. I need to go to the store. I was just popping in and say, hey.
No problem, man. No problem. It's always good to talk to you. But yeah, Harlem, all I was really thinking about the other day was just that, like, we worked really, really hard to make something, like, very unique just for the, like, I don't think we ever once, while making this, thought about how to make money with it. Not that we, like, not entirely, but you know what I mean. Like, we never did any of it with any intention of ever,
I said in the beginning of Neon Seed's development, and I said it on my new project for members who are involved, I don't want any single cent from what's being made, because when I came with the core concept of Neon Seed to you, and I told you, this is a part of me I'm giving to you. Do you remember that? I said, like, this is a part of my psyche almost that needs to be written, and someone needs to handle these characters well. And there's no one else to handle these characters but you. You know, I wouldn't be able to, even for my next project, I'm not able to go to another writer and say, "Can you do this and can you do that like that?" Because you know we've been together for a long time. It's friends.
Yeah, you got to find a partner that you can work with when you're doing anything.
Yeah. So even with the new project, it's like that as well. As like, for example, if you die, let's say if you die, next project is canceled.
Yeah, I get that.
It's fucking dead. There's no way.
Well,
because you know it's such a personal thing. You know, it was my characters in comic book form. I needed someone of trust.
It might sound super silly on paper to be like we didn't think at all about how to make money off of this like massive undertaking. But it's one of those things where it wasn't like we did it selfishly. It was just like I knew that if it needed to make any money, we could figure that out later. Like I just knew that because I knew that if we poured everything into the like an actually good story and actually, you know, interesting characters and I was always of the mindset of if we got money, that's just a bonus. Well, I mean, the only times I ever remember it coming up of like, yo, should we think about like how to do the money end was like, we will need some money, but like, it's not even that much money. Like the numbers we were coming up with were like basically to print things that cost or what have you. And so it's like we started this conversation before you got here, Cole, so I was just talking about how insane indie comics is and how we're stuck in it because we're making a comic independently and there's no way out once you do that. Like you're stuck with what exists. But part of the reason why I think is like there's a lot of people who are trying to like live off of their first, you know, couple of comics, I guess. Or there's like a focus on making a living off of the comics, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to concern myself with that necessarily because I don't have to, and that's like just my position. I know it's not everybody's, but there's too much of this stuff that doesn't have enough time to cook. It doesn't have enough time to cook. There's too much like you know, inflamed passion about it, and like Neon Seed is taking the time it's taken because Kitano is a fucking artist. I thought I was taking a long time with the script, and it was months, but it was like, you know I did a decent job. It's hard to talk about your own work, but like there are only a handful of people, there are only a handful of different groups and individuals that I can think of that I've come across in 2 years of like wading through indie comics that are purely in it for the artistry. You know what I mean? I'm sure you could probably, I'm sure, is Coleslaw still here? Yeah, he is. Coleslaw would know a little bit more than probably everybody else but me here. Yeah, sorry, I'm just walking. I'm walking to the store, so I'm just keeping myself muted when I need to be. I'd say like people like Narwhal or Von Frost are like the best Comicscape people to choose when it comes to people that just love the art. There's like a ton of people I would name. I guess BS as well. There's a ton of people I would name in and out of all different kinds of like the sects, the groups, the cliques. Because there's a few people from every little pocket that are like both usually doing somewhat well for themselves, like with the product that they're pushing, but also like they actually have they have something that they're trying to say and they're saying it well. But it's all, you know, it's one of those things where it's like I'm sort of lamenting out loud the like state of just, you know, people's general sensibilities more than I even am the state of indie comics, because I think just generally I don't know, man, I think generally people are not putting their best foot forward. Like I don't want to say that people are like the bad egg publishing stuff concerns me. you know, because that stuff is coming. And anybody that's not trying to put out like really, really, really insanely interesting, cutting edge, like bleeding edge stories, and taking like really big risks with style and like the design of something. That you guys like, Harlem, you know what Bad Egg is, right? I think you and I have talked about this before. I want to make sure you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't remember.
So it's a
Anymore.
publishing company that was formed with money from YouTubers. So like the first book they put out was God Slap with Moist Critical, and then they got a big cash infusion from Jacksepticeye to do the something verse, the Altaverse or something. But Jacksepticeye has a comic book. Like, man, all the people at whatever agency these big YouTubers are at, they're all getting comic books. Like, that is coming.
So many YouTubers have gotten comic books.
That is happening. It's gonna happen fast. And the crazy thing is, like, you know, God Slap, I think, did probably like 100,000 copies sold over 4 issues, which is something I read, something like that, maybe. Or maybe that's probably not right. It's probably something close to that. I'd have to pull up the article that I was reading. Maybe we'll do this another night. But God Slap like made money. And it doesn't really matter if it's a good comic or not, you know, like it made, I think, around maybe $1.5 or $2 million, which is not bad for a comic book from a YouTuber who mainly does commentary, like reaction and commentary. So like I'd have to look and see what Jacksepticeye did, but if these collaborations are netting enough money to like pay people, they'll keep happening. And so I assume they're going to keep happening. But like what that does is it changes what people think like a comic book is. You know what I mean? We're moving like really far afield of comic books being you know, artful, and they're, you know, more like becoming pulp, which I guess is fine. You know, that I guess if that's what's happening, that's what's happening. But because God Slap's like an interestingly drawn comic, and the artists are pretty good for it, you know. The writing is not like great, but it's not, you know, it's serviceable. So it's not the worst thing that ever happened. But there are going to be some people that end up in the Bad Egg sphere that put out some absolute shit. There's no other way to say it, and I don't think I'm insulting anybody if I say that, but there's going to be somebody who puts together a team that doesn't work well together, and, you know, some of these books are not going to be perfect, but they're still going to sell like 100,000 copies. Anyway, I think that's like all I've got. That's all the main stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to like chat a little bit about indie comics. I'm glad Coleslaw showed up, had a little bit of color commentary there, and walking through the house. I love that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have a child. You know, my wife will have a child.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, hopefully. So I won't be around. But yeah, we'll be trying to do lives whenever I can, whenever you know, I can pop in for like a half an hour. That's why we've been practicing, trying to get these in under an hour or close to a half hour, which is right where we're at right now. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I won't be able to hear you guys in a second because I'm gonna send us to another screen, but let me do a formal ending so the replay looks nice. Where the hell is this thing? There you go. All right, if you need to find any of our links, it's heka.uwu.ai. Takes you to this website right here. You can click on all these different pictures and they'll take you where you need to go. Anybody here? Any last thoughts? Any final things to say? Looking forward to anything for the new year?
It's gonna be a nice year, better than the previous one. I feel it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Just for heck at least.
All right, cool. Well, Coleslaw, Simons, I will catch you guys in the VC in a minute. Let me throw up the screen. Everybody else, will see you when I see you. I gotta have this kid tomorrow, so I don't know when content will roll out of any of these channels, because it rolls through me. But you know, we'll keep everybody posted. All right, later.